It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, 2 outstanding elementary schools here to play our game, one of whom could be going on to become one of the final 4 in the elementary competition. Let's meet them now. First from Cesar Chavez, would you please say hello to DeAndre Page, Christine Herrera, and Jocelyn Cruz. And from Highland Park Elementary, here they are, Ruth Bridgers, John Watson, and Renee Talavera. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left. They're worth 5 and 10 points. The tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And at the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 good-looking, talented teams will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance to this year's elementary school championship. Let's make sure everything works properly before we start. Let's go to the red team. And Christine, would you try your buzzer? Looks and sounds good. Good luck to you, to Jocelyn, DeAndre, and that little Richard Tiger guy there. And green team, John, give it a push. Okay, looks and sounds good over there too. Good luck to you and to Renee and to Ruth. Nice to have you all here today. Highland Park, their 3rd appearance this year. Cesar Chavez, first time because they did so well last year. They got a bye in the competition. Let's have a great game. We go alphabetically, C before H. So Cesar Chavez, let's play that bowl. Christine.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points to start us out. During the Super Bowl, there was an ad with 2 bears chasing people about to run away and drive away in a Hyundai. And the one bear says, "Darn." The other one says, "But I thought you gave up carnivory." He said, "Yeah, I'm not quite one of these V's yet." Highland Park.
Vegetarians?
A vegetarian or a vegan. Yeah, it's hard for a bear to become a vegan. Like in Finding Nemo when the shark tried to give up eating flesh and fish. Go green.
Body systems for 15 points, please.
For 15 points in body systems, teams, this is a multiple choice question. Teams, anthropologists now tell us that our early ancestors that did not wear shoes suffered from foot calluses. Too bad back then there was not an optometrist, a podiatrist, or a chiropractor. Who could have treated those foot calluses? Cesar Chavez.
A.
What was it?
The first.
The
choice?
first one?
Yeah.
No. Highland Park, was it an optometrist, a podiatrist, or a chiropractor who would have been treating foot calluses?
A product.
Say it.
Like.
Help him out, guys. Poor John's trying to do it.
Number 3.
Number 3? No, it was number 2. It was the podiatrist. And those were tough words, yeah. I saw you sneak in those letters there. I'm going to make you say those words in the future here. No points, try again, green.
Body systems for 10 points.
Body system for 10 points. Teams, the old cartoon character Mr. Magoo suffered from myopia, meaning he didn't do this very well. Highland Park.
Here?
Not here. Mr. Magoo, because he was myopic, couldn't do what very well, Christine?
He couldn't see far away very well?
Well, he couldn't see. He just couldn't see, yes. He was nearsighted, but we will take the sighted part of that as a correct answer. Go red.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, this tree that most people think of when they think of the tropics cannot be pruned because if you cut off its leaves, no branches will break out on the trunk. Cesar Chavez.
Palm trees?
Palm trees, absolutely right. So when they're grown inside of a glass house, when they get to the roof, they got to take them out because they can't prune them. Go red. Good answer.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Multiple choice question. Teams, if you were trying to boil water on the top of Mount Everest, the highest mountain on Earth, which of the following temperatures would it come in at because of a change in pressure up there? Would it be 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 158 degrees Fahrenheit, or 212 degrees Fahrenheit? At what temperature would water boil atop Mount Everest, Highland Park? What you got, John?
200?
Not 212, nope. 100, 158, or 212, Christine?
158.
158, absolutely. 212 is the normal boiling point. 100 would be too low, but because of less pressure up there, it doesn't take all that much to get water to boil. Red, go. 80, 60, advantage you.
Green to green.
Green things.
5 for green things.
5 for green things, okay. Teams, this line on a mountain beyond which trees cannot grow is what same word that lumberjacks yell when they fell a tree. Highland Park.
Timber.
Timber. Absolutely right. Good. Green.
Dateline science for 5 points.
Dateline science for 5 points. Teams, if you remember the Flintstones, Fred and Wilma had Dino as their pet. Well, Dino wasn't a Stega or a Tyranno or a Bronto. He was a fictitious Snorko what?
Source.
Saurus, that's right. Yeah, DeAndre knew that one. He was a Snorkosaurus. It sounds real, but it's all made up. All right, I like Dino. Go red.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if you do something really, really bad, but you don't get punished very much at all, they say that you just got a slap on the what? A slap on the what, Highland Park?
Head.
What you got?
Your head.
Not your head, no. You're said to have you are said to get a slap on the what if you get a very light punishment.
Hand.
The wrist. It's a slap on the wrist. That's the phrase. Try again. Red.
Zoo parade for 5.
Super 8 for 5 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio, if you would, please. This is an animal that does not exist, but it could. If you breed a horse and a donkey, you get a mule. But if you breed a jackrabbit and an antelope together, you might get a jackalope. If you could, like a mule, it would be known as what kind of H-initialed creature, Christine?
Hybrid.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. I would like to see a jackalope. That's kind of neat. The buzzer says our first round is over. Let's check that score. Cesar Chavez at 90, Highland Park 65. We'll be back with more Science Bowl in just a moment. Don't go away.
I started mentoring my mentee, Dantre, 4 years ago. I always thought about doing it. It always seemed like a good idea.
We were both nervous when we first met, but everything kind of fell into place.
Mentoring is important to anyone that's pretty fortunate in life to have a little bit of time to pass on that knowledge.
Etienne's a very close friend. I look at him as a brother and a father figure. He taught me just focus on the big picture because I would like to give back just like Etienne gave back to me. Be someone who matters to someone who matters.
If you're like most families, you probably have video game fans in your home. But not every game is right for every kid, which is where the ESRB ratings come in. They help parents make informed decisions for their kids. And there's an easy-to-use mobile app that gives you detailed info on specific game ratings. Video game consoles have parental controls that you can set to block certain games by age rating, so they get all the fun, and you get peace of mind.
Time was, kids did what came naturally, spending free time running barefoot through the grass, wading knee-deep in streams, climbing to the tallest branch. But today, American kids are more likely found texting, watching TV, or gazing at a computer screen. They spend more than 7 hours in front of electronic media. Something essential has been lost: childhood's connection to the natural world. That's why National Wildlife Federation created the Be Out There movement. Kids move indoors causes a host of problems, from obesity to ADHD. But outdoor play can go a long way to improving kids' health, body, mind, and spirit. It helps them stay fit, enhances creativity and attention spans, and could even make them better students. Do your part. Be a part of Be Out There. There's a reason why they call it the great outdoors. Learn more at beoutthere.org.
And welcome back to Science Bowl. So nice to have you here today. We've got 6 outstanding young people. As we said at the top of the show, Cesar Chavez, they did so well last year. They got a bye in the competition in Highland Park. They have never made it this far in the competition. We are so proud of them. They're here for their 3rd appearance. So we're having a good game, just as we expected. Let's find out about our students and our schools. Cesar Chavez. Christine, tell us about Cesar Chavez. It's a Spanish immersion school, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and because I remember being over there with your principal, Mr. Taboada, and being so impressed with the classes over there. Who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Quinones.
Yes, and she's here today with, who else is with you?
Miss Quarles, she's our teacher.
Absolutely, and the dynamic duo, they work so hard to get you ready. Thank you both for all you've done to put Cesar Chavez on our Science Bowl. Wouldn't have happened without you. Christine, any alternates on your team?
Yeah, we have Kaylee Carcamo.
Yeah, we'll bring her out in just a few moments here. And would you introduce the little mascot there? Was I right? Is it a tiger?
Yes, this is Richard.
Richard. And does he bring you good luck?
Yes, we hope.
We hope, that's right.
We hope.
And you guys over there, you look like you're having a good time, and I like how you play together, and I know you're a little bit nervous. Just get over that because you're doing just fine here. Easy for me to say, right, because I got the answers. Tell me, if you had to pick one thing, Christine, about Cesar Chavez that really is impressive to you, that you like to brag about, what would you say?
All the after-school activities, because they're always so fun, and you always have fun with them.
Yeah, and it's not just the classes, it's the stuff that happens afterwards, and the sports and the clubs and all. That's what makes school an important place. Thanks for mentioning that. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a journalist or an author.
We were talking about writing, yeah, and you like to write. What have you written so far?
Mostly poems, and stories they're in like a work in progress.
That's all right. Some authors take years to complete books, and yeah, it's a great creative outlet. I know you'll do well with that. Jocelyn, nice to have you here today. Tell us the Jocelyn story. What do you do in your spare time?
I like reading, painting my nails, or taking naps.
Yeah, and taking naps. So I like that one. Let's see your nails. Let's see your nails. Yes, indeed. They're looking good over there. And is this your school uniform? You have to wear like a white blouse or shirt?
It's a blue shirt.
Blue shirt, okay. And you're all in the 6th grade, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Jocelyn, what do you want to do someday?
I would like to become a lawyer.
A lawyer. And we talked earlier, and you like to argue?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like to win your arguments?
Yes.
Okay, we'll sign you up, barrister. Absolutely. And DeAndre, good to have you here. How do you know so much about science? Because you do.
I was watching a YouTube video, and I accidentally clicked Science Bowl, and then I started to study, and then my principal said, do you want to be on Science Bowl? And I said yes, and then we just started to study until now.
Wow. So what do we call that in science? Serendipity. Things that just kind of happen, and here you are. We're glad you're here. What do you want to do someday?
I either want to be an engineer, a financial advisor, or a lawyer.
Wow. You got your head on straight. You got clear goals about what you want, and I like that kind of confidence. Good luck in the second half here. Highland Park, you're welcome. Highland Park, nice to see you guys back. John, tell us about Highland Park. It's not too far from us here in Landover, is it?
No, sir.
No. And who's your principal?
Miss Robinson.
And she's here today. She couldn't be any prouder of you. And Miss Robinson and Miss Smith, the sponsor over there, responsible for you guys succeeding. Of course, you guys had a lot to do with it too, because you really study hard and you prepared for this. John, best thing about Highland Park? Best thing?
Well, it's super safe, and we have after school curriculums that make learning super fun and in the classrooms. We have the Chromebooks that we can get on websites and learn.
Yeah, Chromebooks, they are amazing, aren't they? Or to use your word, super. Yeah, I like your word super over there. Any alternates on your team, John?
Zora Hennigan.
Yeah, Zora's out there right now. She's trying to yell answers, but we can't hear her. But we'll see her in a few moments here with Miss Robinson and Miss Smith. John, what do you want to do someday?
I want to be a research doctor.
Yeah, you'd be good at that. You are such a good captain. I like how you consult with Renee and Ruth, and you're just a very deliberate young man. We're real proud of you. Renee, nice to have you with us today. Tell us your story. What do you do in your spare time?
I play with Legos and like build stuff that comes in my head.
Wow. What's the neatest Lego thing you've built?
With my brother, I built this like airport, and then I just put wheels on it.
An airport with wheels. That is pretty cool. I like that idea. And yeah, engineering. Sounds like you could be a good engineer. Ruth, nice to see you here. And Ruth's brother John was on many, many Science Bowls. In fact, he was part of the championship team, I believe. Was it at Kenmore?
Yeah.
Yeah, so part of a family tradition, Ruth, and you're upholding it well. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to read and draw and play with my friends.
Hey, that sounds like a normal kind of thing to do. And what do you hope to do someday? Have you thought about that?
I want to work with animals like a marine biologist.
Yeah. Do you have pets at home?
I have a hamster.
Yeah, that counts. That counts. They're not real affectionate, though, sometimes, those rodents. You know, that as much as we want them to be. Nice to have you back. All right, let's get back to our game. 90 for Cesar Chavez, 65 Highland Park. Lots of questions left. Red team, Christine, start us out.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, this sounds like a long question, but the answer is easy. The attraction of two bodies in space is proportional to the square of the distance between them. That is whose universal law of gravitation? Whose? Who got hit in the head with the apple? It was Isaac Newton. It was Isaac Newton's law of universal gravitation. Try again. We'll turn that light out and we'll let Christine pick again.
Let's get physical for 5.
Get physical for 5 points. Teams at the Super Bowl, at the beginning, when they flipped the coin to see who would receive, the top of the coin was gold. The tail side was this other precious metal with the symbol AG. Highland Park. What do you have, John? Don't ring in unless you have an idea. Cesar Chavez, the top of the coin used at the beginning of the Super Bowl was gold. The precious metal on the tail side was what other chemical, what other element with the symbol AG?
Silver.
Silver, that's it. Was silver on the one side, gold on the other. Good, Red, go.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, the brand new flag of the country of New Zealand is a silver frond from this old plant that famously reproduces by means of spores. Name it. It's a fern. Ferns reproduce by spores, and their leaves are called fronds. Try again, Red.
Super 8 for 15.
Super 8 for 15 points. Teams, private property for us human beings is analogous to this that an animal defends. Highland Park. Yes, sir.
Territory?
Again?
Territory.
Territory. That's it. Yep, good. Thank you, Ruth, for your assist. Go Green.
Body systems for 20, please.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, hemoglobin S is the defective form of hemoglobin found in the red blood cells that causes the turning in this disease. Highland Park.
Sickle cell.
Sickle cell anemia, that's it. Thank you, Renee. Good, go. Green. You now have a 5-point lead, 195. John, go.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Teams, in zoology, there's something called Allen's rule for mammals that says that mammals will minimize the amount of SA if they are in cold climates, but maximize SA in climates that are very hot. S stands for surface. The A stands for this, because you're trying to conserve or dissipate heat. Highland Park.
Atoms?
Not atoms. SA, if you're trying to conserve heat or get rid of heat, then you're maximizing and minimizing SA if you're a mammal. It stands for surface what? Area, surface area. You want to have less exposed because you're going to lose more heat. Keep it down tight because then you want to hold on to it. Okay, go Green. Still 5-point lead, go.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. It is in the palisades layer of plant cells that this food-making process actually takes place in plants, Cesar Chavez.
Photosynthesis.
That's it. Good. Go. Red.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, if you like to cook and you like to marinate your steaks before you put them on the barbecue, you're going to add some spices, and then you're going to add some of this kind of chemical to lower the pH of the marinade. What lowers the pH of the marinade? What kind of chemical, John?
Vinegar?
Vinegar I'll take, yeah. Any kind of acid, citric acid, vinegar, yeah, lime juice. Good, go.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, people today are getting all upset about GMOs, genetically modified organisms. They don't want to eat them, especially this kind of fish that famously, Highland Park?
Salmon.
Salmon, absolutely right. That spawns after it returns to its natal waters. All right, 115, we have a tie. What a game. Green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline science for 10 points. Teams, the brand new chemical element 113 has a number of names proposed for it. 2 of them are nipponium and fugium because the men who discovered it are from what country? Highland Park.
Fiji?
Not Fiji, no. Nipponium and fugium are 2 of the proposed names for chemical element 113 in honor of the men from what country who discovered it?
France?
Japan. Mount Fuji. And Nippon is another name for Japan. Go green.
Potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, if you listen to the radio, to National Public Radio, they have a food blog called SALT. But if they really wanted to be chemically correct, what other 4 letters could they use instead of S-A-L-T if they wanted to be chemically correct? NaCl, the formula for salt. Go green.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline science for 15 points. Teams, before Alan Shepard and John Glenn, the name Yuri Gagarin was out there. He was the first man to do what? Yuri Gagarin was the first man to do what? Even before John Glenn and Alan Shepard. He was the first man in space. He was a Russian. Go green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Get physical for 20 points. Teams, liquid mercury is actually very dry. The reason why it forms droplets is because it has very high surface what? Highland Park?
Temperature?
Not temperature, no, good try. Cesar Chavez, very high surface what lets that mercury
Tension.
form droplet?
Tension.
Tension, that's it, good comeback. Okay, now you're in the lead. Go red.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio teams. I'm going to take you to Los Angeles and to the La Brea tar pits. You can see the elephants that are stuck in the tar there. But it wasn't really tar that bubbled up from the earth. It was this A-initialed viscous substance that we use to pave highways. Cesar Chavez.
Asphalt.
Yeah, it's asphalt. The La Brea asphalt pits. Doesn't have the same ring to it. Go red.
Green things for 25.
Green things 25, big one in that category. Teams, your question is as follows. The shortest food chain ever has just 2 links. The first are the green plants. The second and last are these. Highland Park, 25 points. Get you close to the lead. Talk among yourselves, Christine. What am I going to come to if they don't get it? Green things is the first link. What's the last link in the shortest food chain?
Insects?
Not insects, no. What do you think, Cesar Chavez?
Worms?
Not quite. These are the decomposers. The plants die. They're not eaten. They get decomposed and need bacteria and all to break them down. Tough question. Good tries. Go red.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, the unit for measuring the intensity of radioactivity or radiation is big C, little I, which is named for what man who was the co-discoverer with his wife of the element radium? What's the only husband-wife team in chemistry that people know about? The Curies, Marie and Pierre Curie. Try again, red.
Body systems for 25.
Rodney says for 25 points. Teams, if you go to a lumber yard, you're going to get wood. But if you go to a lumbar yard, L-U-M-B-A-R, that might be a clever name for a mattress store, because the lumbar area is the small of your back, and the lumbar is one of these kinds of bones back there. Come on, Highland Park.
Your spine?
Be more specific.
Your spinal cord?
Nope. Cesar Chavez, what lumbar is what kind of bone that you find down here in the small of your back?
Vertebrae?
That's what I want to hear, a vertebrae. Good answer. All right, go Rid.
Let's get physical for 25.
Get physical for 25 points. Teams, if you saw the movie, or if you're just an astronomer, you know that the word interstellar means specifically this. Interstellar means what?
In space?
Nope, nope. Cesar Chavez, any idea? Interstellar means, let's turn that light out over there.
In atmosphere.
In atmosphere?
What does inter mean? Between. Stellar means stars, between the stars. Try again, Red. 3 questions left. Come on, John, you need them all.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade 25, big one in that category, teams. If you wanted to kill bugs or germs or mice or rats or fungus, the kind of chemical that you would use in each case would be different, but the last 4 letters would be the same. What are the last 4 letters in a chemical that you use to kill rodents or insects or germs or fungus? Last 4 letters.
It's not 4 letters. Side?
Yeah, side. C-I-D-E. Rodenticide, insecticide, fungicide. Nice going, John. Not quite enough. It looks like Cesar Chavez has done it. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
And welcome back to Science Bowl. Boy, did we have a good time today. Evenly matched teams. We're proud of both of them, the elite students here in Prince George's County. What a great set of teams. Our final tally, Highland Park 140, Cesar Chavez 180. Congratulations, DeAndre and Christine and Jocelyn and Zora and Miss Quinones and Miss Quarles and Richard, you too. You played a big part here today. We're going to see you in the next round. Let's see some smiles over here. Ruth, you did a really good job here today. John, as always, I'm in awe of you. You do a great job. Renee, you came up with wonderful answers here today. And Zora, I know you knew some of these and you were yelling them from down there. And their principal came today. Miss Robinson, thank you for being here today and supporting these young people. And Miss Smith, we wouldn't have seen this year had you not got involved. Thank you for all you've done. And thank you. We're going to see you next time on the Science Bowl. Bye-bye.